definitely do not need nukes fucking arming fucking Hezbollah,
But
arming the
here's the thing,
Houthis.
though. If Iran has nukes, just like North Korea, they're going to get the same results. And this is why I don't want them to have nukes, trust me. But we do understand that this is what we're setting up now, that any regime that feels threatened towards us, they're just like, all right, let's just rush towards nukes.
Or you're missing the part where the United States has something to say about that.
You're missing the part where we fail at negotiation. Therefore, we're pushing these people towards nukes. But all right.
Again, this is like the argument that you say that everybody that fucking gets pulled over should run from the cops because they'll go to prison. Does that make any sense?
I mean, I'm not sure what your argument. I made that argument.
I'm comparing that, like, everybody, because if you've committed a crime, you're going to go to prison, right? So everybody should just run away from the cops because the cops are definitely going to take you to prison. We've set that precedent. So does the logic hold up when you apply that on a bigger scale? We should get nukes because if not, the U.S. is going to fuck with us.
Monty, that's literally why North Korea did it. Like, let's be real.
North Korea did it
because there is no negotiating with the U.S. unless you got nukes, and that's the president that we set. But all right. Next topic, though. Let's get into Kristi Noem getting fired.
Breaking news into CNN. Kristi Noem is out as the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. We have a team of reporters on this. Let's start with Kristen Holmes at the White House. Kristen, it was, like 10 minutes ago that you were reporting that her job was in jeopardy, and now it's official.
Yep, President Trump has announced that he has fired the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. This is the first cabinet position that he has fired during his second term. Of course, the only other high-profile ouster we've had like this was...
All right, and shout out to the Lunatic Libertarian one for starting us off on the super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. All right, he says, foreign policy has always involved three-letter agencies since the end of World War II. Israel wants to control the region and using the USA to do it. Deaths still come. All right. I ain't gonna lie. I do agree with you on that one.
When Mike Waltz served as the head of the National Security Council, he was the National Security Advisor. So President Trump just posted this on Truth Social. He said, I am pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Mark Wayne Mullen, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st, 2026. And Boris, just so you know, this is one of the names that we had heard. He was floating in these conversations he was having with lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere.
So they hit her with a Mike Walls. It's like, all right, so you're no longer going to be our national security advisor, but we're going to go ahead and send you to our representative at the UN, like pretty much. So it's not really like a firing, honestly. It's not like she's out of the administration. She's just being relocated somewhere else.
Are announcing on Saturday in Doral, Florida. I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland. Again, this is a huge deal, Boris. This is the first time he is firing a cabinet member. He has been incredibly reluctant this term to fire, to shuffle any of his staff, any of his officials, because of the perception of his first term when he was in office, that it was a revolving door. However, as we reported, we were told that the catalyst for this was essentially this appearance that she made, this hearing in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee, in which she claimed President Trump had signed off on a $200 million ad campaign that featured her asking illegal immigrants to self-deport. President Trump has now said publicly he didn't do that. And of course, all of this is amid the fallout that we saw from Minnesota, from Minneapolis. And there had been pushback on the Hill and from many of President Trump's allies that Kristi Noem was not the right person for the job. But many of them had been careful to walk a very thin line, not getting too far out there. But clearly, we are told now that this hearing put Trump over the edge in terms of his anger factor. And now he has fired Noem, replacing her, with this Oklahoma senator.
All right, Kristen, this is huge news as we are getting this, that Trump is replacing Kristi Noem as DHS secretary and moving her to a special envoy position, which is certainly a demotion and something that is meant to give her a little cover as she is getting ousted here. Kristen, thank you so much. If you could stand by for us there at the White House. Let's go to Priscilla Alvarez, who has been tracking this for us. What are you learning?
Well, I have been hearing from Homeland Security officials who are stunned. Of course, they had been talking amongst themselves over the last several weeks and months, anticipating that the secretary may be out soon, given a series of missteps that they perceived she had done over the last several weeks. And one of those in particular, or many of those in particular, are stemmed in what happened in Minneapolis. Recall, of course, that surge of federal agents for that immigration enforcement operation where 2 U.S. citizens were fatally shot by federal agents. And it was the secretary who came.
And here's the thing, though. If they fired her, I don't think they fired her because of that. I think one of the main reasons was because of her performance when she was testifying. But to be quite honest with you, that's not really fair to put on Kristi Noem. Like, to be honest, like there was other places in the United States that were doing perfectly fine while ICE was there and they're working with local authorities. Now, just because, like, you know, Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, and Tim Walz don't want to actually provide no backup for ICE, that's not Kristi Noem's fault. Like, Kristi Noem has no control over that. She kind of was just doing the best she could.
S.E.T, they're just narrative building. Calm down.
Yeah, I get it. But a lot of people are thinking it's because she did a bad job. And I'm just like, you know, I don't really think she did that. Like, think about it. While she was DHS secretary, the border got shut down. The crackdowns on immigration were going well and everywhere but Minneapolis. So,
in order to build their narrative, S.E.T, they have to say that everything that happened in Minnesota was Trump's fault, therefore making it Kristi Noem's fault. And that's why Trump got rid of her, because he knows he did a wrong thing. That's the narrative. That's the subliminal messaging that's coming out of their mouths right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Came out in that immediate aftermath, calling them domestic terrorists, something that she was grilled on during the congressional hearings this week. But
yeah, that was a major mistake too. When she called both of them a domestic terrorist with no proof whatsoever, I mean, no bringing up of their history to show that they was involved with this or that group, that made her look terrible, terrible.
That also shocked Homeland Security officials that she would so quickly draw conclusions over such incidents. And recall, too, that President Trump, in the aftermath of those shootings, had dispatched White House border czar Tom Homan to try to resolve the issues on the ground. It was the most high-profile rebuke over the course of the last year of the secretary and the way that she was managing the department and the immigration enforcement mission. Now, of course, the White House said at the time that she was in lockstep.
Pause. To fucking McFuckface in the chat, don't listen to the guy that was guaranteeing the first Iran strike was a success. The first strike in Iran was a success. We achieved the goals that we wanted to do, was to hit those nuclear sites. But what are you?
Huh? Oh, wait, I don't know, Monty, about that. If it was a success, then how are we back 8 months later concerned about the same sites?
Because we said, hey, fucking keep it up and we'll do it again. It wasn't
them.
Oh my fucking god! So we obliterated the centrifuges.
6 months. So we obliterated them, and we only set them back 6 months, and here they are back again, right?
No, we said, oh my god!
I'm just saying, bro. It's a bit tough for a lot of people to sit there and be like, bro, yeah,
because people are fucking dumb. Like the fucking shit was blown up. It was obliterated. It was successful. Like fucking god.
All right, bro. All right.
Step with Tom Homan, but it was also clear.
No, I want some more fucking airtime on that. That's fucking like that's the dumbest. Like Monty, we don't want to go.
Monty, I can't have you responding to everybody in the chat because you're kind of taking away from the whole point of super chatting.
I get that, but this is.
Come on now, bro. So don't do it because we barely got any super chats, and I'm about to close the show because we don't got enough within the next 15 minutes. But all right. Let's let them earn your voice, okay, bro?
There have been long simmering tensions there. So all of this to say that it had been building over some time now, what was happening in the department, the management of the department between her and her chief advisor, Corey Lewandowski, who was serving as a special government employee. There had been multiple concerns from within the department about the way that she was handling things, even most recently when she said that she was suspending TSA PreCheck, and then the department had to reverse that within.
Oh, and if you got anything you want to say to Monty to have it read out loud, please super chat it in, or you can, you could keep typing it in the chat, but I ain't listening to it, and neither will Monty.
Yep, I'm sorry. I'm devaluing fucking that mechanism to get people's voices heard. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, big dog. I get it. Trust me, the chat go and get you pissed off. It pissed me off sometimes too, but it's all good.
Stop reading the fucking comments unless you can fucking unless someone's paying you.
Yep.
Hours. So this has been just a shock for a lot of Homeland Security officials who, even though they thought the writing was on the wall with her leaving at some point, the fact that it has happened now in the wake of these hearings just has them all scrambling.
Priscilla Alvarez, please stand by. Let's go to Manu Raju, who's live on Capitol Hill. Manu, I promised that at some point I would ask you about the situation with Kristi Noem and these hearings. Clearly, they were disastrous.
Yeah, and no question about it. And there had been a lack of support for Kristi Noem throughout, and a growing number of Republicans expressing frustration, concern, and actually, frankly, not even saying if they could support.
Nah, this was wild. Let's go to actually like one part of this hearing. Like, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewinsky? Like, huh?
The gentlelady from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Secretary, for joining us. Finally, you are in charge of protecting the homeland. And so your judgment and the judgment of your senior staff can be the difference between life and death. So I think that judgment would need to be unassailable. Why then, is the question, have you made Corey Lewandowski?
Oh, and I'm going to warn you guys once. If you want to hate on the fact because your broke ass can't afford a $2 super chat, you're just going to get banned. So stop getting mad because your broke ass can't afford a $2 super chat, okay? All right.
I was just going.
You're going to get banned.
That's why I was modding at the same time, and I'm seeing that shit come across. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Bro,
sorry.
Broke people want to be mad because they can't get attention for free. Bro, I'm not your mom. Okay, go call your mom.
Your de facto chief of staff, who possesses an unchecked level of power at DHS. Under your leadership, this person has done things like fire your FEMA administrator while sitting behind your desk, which is your job to do, lobby to build the controversial detention facility known as Alligator Alcatraz, which has turned into a legal boondoggle costing Florida millions, and have veto and reviewing and signing power over large DHS contracts and grants, which again is your job. DHS has critical agency components like the Secret Service, FEMA, Border Patrol, cybersecurity. So does Corey Lewandowski have national security experience, military experience, law enforcement experience? No. He is a lobbyist, a failed campaign manager, which is causing my constituents who are waiting for their FEMA dollars and me to wonder what are his qualifications for this job. So according to the Wall Street Journal, you and Mr. L have a close relationship that has made President Trump, quote, uncomfortable. The president reportedly denounced Corey Lewandowski as your chief of staff due to reports of a romantic relationship between the two of you. So instead, you designated him as a special government and employee, a position he has had well beyond the allowed 130 days and requires him to disclose if he is making money off of his position. Trump knows that this guy is shady. Corey has a decades-long record of physical battery, sexual harassment, illegal lobbying for a Venezuelan oil company, and bringing a loaded gun into a federal building. Despite being fired or removed from virtually every position he has ever held due to misconduct, he now wields unchecked, unconfirmed, undisclosed power over your department. This person has no experience running anything close to Department of Homeland Security or even advising someone in your position. He is unqualified, which again has left my constituents and I wondering why he is your top official. So Secretary Noem, at any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
And
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is an
time,
advisor
Secretary, it
and
is
has
okay for
no-
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be making
question.
any
It is
decisions.
okay for you to
Has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
be making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting in
real
positions.
question.
So what I would say
And
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the
what we do
question
at the Department of Homeland Security
clearly
every single
and without
day,
any hesitation.
every single day is to protect
If
this
someone
country
is
and to
asking
make
if
decisions.
you
Yeah, just
or
say
any
no.
federal official is sleeping
ha-
with their subordinate, that should
I
be the
have-
easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
Is garbage.
Because it is not about
It is
your sex
offensive
life.
that you have brought
It is
that up.
about your
So
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is
has
about
been refuted
reclaiming
for
my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can hear
to
myself.
recognize-
Time belongs.
share.
No, I'm hearing both sides out on this one. I mean, one is like, I get that it's an offensive question, but just say no. Just say no. Don't sit there and try to drag on about, oh, well, look at what we've been doing and you guys aren't paying attention to that. Like, we know that, but just answer the question, because when you sit there and you try to go around it, you make yourself look guilty. Not saying that she did it, not saying that's what's going on, but when you just don't answer directly and you kind of just try to sit there and like move around it, come on now. That's not a good
I mean, when you say that's offensive, the implication is a no.
I'd have just said nope, move on. That's it. That's it. I don't know how else. I don't know how else she would be able to lean in on it now that she's kind of beating around the bush. Now she's able to sit there and condemn her and be like, oh, well, that's not answering my question. And yeah, in a way, it's not.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but it'd be nice if you would let her respond.
I will. I want to let you know it is about your judgment and decision-making. It is about the 260,000 employees that work under you that want to make sure that you are giving information and making decisions clearly. It is about conflict of interest. It is about a national security risk. Department of Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 to protect the homeland. And DHS has circulated an internal bulletin to law enforcement partners warning that the conflict of the war we're in could inspire lone actors or small-scale cyber activity inside the United States, according to a memo obtained by ABC News. So American lives are at risk. The people who work for you are at risk. And they want to know that the person at the top, you, are making decisions clearly, without any sort of cloudiness, and that they're your decisions because you're the secretary who was confirmed. That's what this is about. Saving the lives of Americans and not costing them millions of dollars.
Is there
Not
a
having
question in any of this?
Compromised in her
Yeah, I was
decision-making.
wondering too.
And Mr. Chair,
Like, did she ask one question and that was it? After that, it was just straight lecturing. After that,
That's all it is. And that's why fucking what's the point of fucking going to this fucking committee if all that's gonna happen is you're gonna fucking sit there and filibuster the entire fucking thing and then get mad when someone responds to you. That's all it is a fucking grandstand.
Yeah, about an affair that, I mean, bro, do y'all have any proof that this went down? Sure.
No,
there's
they
some
don't have
weird
any
stories,
proof.
but come on now.
They're throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Which, by the way, and this is one of the reasons why she's in hot water, by the way. Like, this was one of the reasons. So, yeah, it is what it is. She probably could have handled that question a little better.
before I yield my time, I would like to enter into the record some articles, and I'm asking for unanimous consent. NEOM tightens her grip on DHS. Lewandowski fired FEMA admin.
Without
while saying
objection.
the okay. The next one is Kristi Noem secretly took a cut of political donations from ProPublica.
Without objection.
Kristi Noem fires pilot over a blanket, but is forced to reinstate him to fly home. Wall Street Journal.
Without objection.
Lewandowski taking out trash at Noem's D.C. home. Daily Beast.
Without
Oh.
objection.
Barbie's Mile High privacy chamber with alleged lover exposed. Wall Street.
I mean, that's a little weird, but I mean, that's a little weird. Okay, that's a wreck.
That's funny. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's funny.
like, bro was called taking out trash at her crib, bro. You was taking out the trash at the crib. Come on,
Bro,
man.
she got you whipped like that?
Like that, like, okay. That was
Shit.
okay. I didn't think they had proof like that. Leaving the home. Hold on.
Bro,
Okay.
that's like
The next-
them coming into work together right behind each other.
Literally holding hands, and then when everybody looked, they just let go. Like, well, my bad. Hold on.
One is Kristi Noem secretly took a cut of political donations from ProPublica.
Without objection.
Kristi Noem fires pilot over a blanket, but is forced to reinstate him to fly home, Wall Street Journal.
Without objection.
Lewandowski taking out trash at Noem's D.C. home, Daily Beast.
Uh-oh.
Without objection.
Barbie's Mile High Privacy Chamber.
That's
was
also the
alleged
Daily
by
Beast.
Wall Street Journal,
Yeah.
how Corey Lewandowski became Kristi Noem's
Basically, like political TMZ, basically.
Yeah.
gatekeeper.
So,
But that means that they might have had somebody outside with the camera. You know, them paparazzis is fierce.
bro.
at
I don't buy it, but I think it's funny.
Yeah, same here. It's just like it's funny that y'all said it.
Yes.
Objection.
A pilot fired over Kristi Noem's missing blanket and the constant chaos inside DHS, Wall
Objection.
Street Journal. Police charged Trump campaign manager with assault, PBS News.
Without objection.
Woman who
is there a
accused Corey
question in any of
Lewandowski
this?
Assault speaks out. I don't want this to happen to anyone else, CBS News. Lewandowski's firm quietly inked deal with Venezuela-owned company, Politico.
Objection.
List of U.S. cities raising security amid Iran conflict, Newsweek.
Objection.
Kristi Noem, I have a few more, I'm sorry. Kristi Noem misled Congress yesterday about top aides' role in DHS contracts.
Objection.
Policy number 10271 from ICE. It is an anti-fraternization policy prohibiting romantic or sexual relationships between supervisors and their subordinates. And with that, I yield.
Without objection. Gentleman from Texas, recognized 5 minutes.
Well, all right. Okay, that was probably the main point right there. So she's reading out all these stories and they're objecting, or they're going like, all right, not objected. So when they're not objecting it, that means they're going to go ahead and add it to the file. Objecting means that, bro, we're leaving that out.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to throw shit into the wall and hope it sticks, and they quote it as if it's gospel. They do what you do, S.E.T. They're like, yeah, this has been reported on, so it's fact. Then it gets disproven 6 months later.
Okay, well that was a bit reckless, Monty.
I'm sorry.
Really, bro? Because I'm pretty sure I've been vindicated a lot of times, but okay, bro.
You've also been wrong a lot of times, and you don't issue fucking...
bro, you've been wrong a lot of times, and I don't ever hear you walk anything back. But okay, bro.
I walked it back all the time. I literally came up the same day. I was like, oh shit, that was from something earlier.
Mm-hmm. All right, bro. Okay, bro.
Her continuing in the job, and no doubt that echoed at the White House, and the President Trump clearly had some of those similar concerns as well. But I want you to listen to what some of the Republicans told me just in the last day about whether they would continue supporting Kristi Noem staying in that job.
Do you have confidence in Secretary Noem?
Time will tell.
Would you vote for her again if you had a chance?
Time will tell.
Do you have confidence in her?
I'm not going to
Secretary?
answer that. That's not my decision.
But you voted to confirm her.
That's not my decision. If the president, that's up to the president. I want to be a team player, and I want to secure the border, and I want to enforce our immigration laws. But I'm tired of trying to explain behavior that is inexplicable to me.
If you had a chance to vote for her again, would you?
I'm not going to answer that, Manu. You can try 1,000 times, mate. Lots of luck to you.
Now, Barclay Mullen almost certainly would get the support of a majority of United States senators to be confirmed as the next Secretary of Homeland Security. The Senate tends to look favorably upon its own. He has served in this body for 3 years. He's a former House member for about 10 years. He's a former mixed martial arts fighter as well. And he's also been a staunch defender of President Trump's agenda. It is unclear exactly when it was informed to Mullen that he would be Donald Trump's pick. quick because he did speak to reporters at about 12:30 this afternoon. He was asked about these rumors about Trump floating his name as replacement. At that point, he said he had not spoken to Trump all week. And then he went, who's holed up in the number 2 Senate Republican's office, John Barrasso. He was not seen for some time. He left the Capitol without commenting, perhaps taking a call from the president at that point. So a surprise to many here, and maybe even to Senator Mullen. Guys.
Some fascinating color as Mullen leaves Capitol Hill, potentially taking a call from the president, refusing to comment about Trump considering him for DHS secretary, and just moments ago, Trump confirming that the new DHS secretary is Senator Mark Mullen of Oklahoma.
In our what's up?
All the folks that are like, oh yay, she's gone. I hope you don't think anything is changing, my guys. You're gonna be in for a rude awakening if you think this is fucking. Oh man, it's just her. If we just had somebody else, it would be better. No, motherfucker. People are still gonna get
deported. A lot of bad publicity behind her, so it's best to just get her up out of there and get somebody with a bit more of a clean slate.
Yeah, we'll just keep changing them out. It's the president's agenda ultimately to get these people deported. Like that's what's going to happen, and he'll find somebody that will do it. And fucking Bondi will be next. Bondi will be next, and then we'll get Matt Gaetz.
Oh, and shout out to my man James Foley. Says $2 for 1 more hour. Man, look, we ain't even hit the goal of the 15 super chats in the hour, so I don't know about that, brother.
National lead Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is back on Capitol Hill today, facing bipartisan criticism for her job performance. Yesterday from senators, today from House lawmakers, both often focusing on the aggressive, many would say overly aggressive, immigration crackdown in Minnesota and elsewhere. One Republican senator giving her a particularly harsh assessment.
What we've seen is a disaster. Under your leadership, Ms. Noem, we're beginning to get the American people to think that deporting people is wrong. It's the exact opposite. The way you're going about deporting them is wrong. I read your book last week. And honestly, some of the parts of it impressed me, but some of it distresses me. And I'll give you a good example of one that does. The passage where you talk about killing a dog that was 14 months old. You decided to kill that dog because you had not invested the appropriate time in training. And then you have the audacity to go into a book and say it's a leadership lesson about tough choices.
And North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis joins me now live in studio. Senator, let me ask you, why bring up the story of her killing Cricket? I mean, I thought it was a bizarre story too, but like, you think it's actually relevant?
I think it's relevant because if you read I would recommend people do it. I bought the book. I got the audio book. I read it for the committee prep. But she tries to suggest that a 14-month-old dog that's only halfway through what most people who train dogs, particularly for hunting purposes, is necessary to have that dog be reliable. So she gets angry at a dog that she puts into service long before it should, and then goes and kills it in the backyard. And before that dog is dead, she made a bad decision there. She fielded it too soon without training. Then she goes back to the farm, grabs a family goat, and shoots it because it made her mad. That is not. That's a thought process. So look. The fact that she acted precipitously on limited information, not really understanding that she had put something into a situation it was not ready for, felt a lot like some of the decision making that was done in Minneapolis.
Like calling Renee Good and Alex Preddy domestic terrorists.
Immediately jump into that. So she was rationalizing killing a dog behavior because it didn't perform properly, but she was wrong. She could have had that dog perform properly. Her then rationalizing that these were terrorists was the expedient. It was the easy way out. I want leaders behind President Trump that do the hard work so that they're preserving the Republican majorities in Congress and the president's legacy. She's far from that.
Well, one of the interesting things about the Preddy and Good situations is that she immediately came out and said things that were false. That we saw on video were not true. And
no credible. And look, the reason why I asked her who Tom Homan reports to, because I knew the answer. And she said he reports to the president.
Right.
If there is no better example of a vote of no confidence as somebody who was in front when the Preddy incident occurred, and now she who is the head of Homeland Security, is replaced by somebody for a Homeland Security mission who doesn't actually even work for the Secretary of Homeland Security. That's a vote of no confidence, in my opinion, by the president.
So your Republican colleague, Senator Kennedy, was also critical. He was here earlier, and he was specifically critical about a multi-million-dollar ad campaign that DHS ran. And the secretary told him it had been a competitive bid process for the contractors who produced it, and the president had approved of the ad campaign. Democratic Senator Joe Neguse questioned her about the contractor that made these ads, Safe America Media, today. Take a listen.
Where is Safe America Media headquartered?
I don't know.
I don't know either, Madam Secretary. We can't find it. We can't find a website. The company is registered to a political operative in Virginia. Do you know, just by way of example, whether this company that received $143 million in taxpayer dollars, has it ever done work for the government before?
I don't know. I can't.
The answer is it has not. And do you know why we know that? Because it was incorporated 8 days before this contract went out. You want the American people to believe?
Now, I did hear about this case, but the problem is, though, Kristi Noem's name is not on that LLC. Like, I get how sus it is, but bringing her name into it when, you know, she's not any part of that LLC, y'all gonna have to do some deeper investigation to see who's really a part of it and see if you can actually track it back to NEOMS. Because otherwise, you know, she has complete deniability on her side. And I mean, you could say it and it makes her look bad, but you can't track this back to her.
That this is all above board?
And we should know one of the other reasons why people are so suspicious of this is one of the subcontractors affiliated with that contract is a company run by the husband of her former spokeswoman, Tricia McLaughlin. What do you make of all this?
Well, look, I mean, let's also, I was sitting right next to John when he was asking the questions, and I don't think people picked up on how proud she was of making any decision over $100,000 in FEMA across her desk and any decision for Homeland Security over $15 million across her desk. How can you go from saying that you scrutinize everything in excess of 15 millions and in the same 10-minute period say, I didn't know any of the details of a $200 million purchase? Yeah. This is somebody that is out of her depth and apparently only situationally interested in transactions over 15 million, except when it involves her family members or friends.
So one of the other things you asked for before you ran out of time yesterday, Charlotte's Web. That's the immigration enforcement operation in Charlotte, North Carolina, run by DHS. You have been waiting for more than a month for basic answers from her about this. You're a United States senator. Did she ever give you answers?
No, even worse than that. An hour. One of the reasons why I was angry is that an hour before, after waiting a month, I was told I wasn't going to get the data. I asked for anonymized data that recorded the incidents, the outcome, whether a person was illegally present or not, were they detained?
Just the oversight responsibility of the legislative branch. Yeah.
She says that she's got a world-class law enforcement organization. I could go to a small town in North Carolina and they could produce incident reports immediately for me. So she either doesn't have it or she doesn't like what it's going to say. And my suspicion is that she had a very low success rate. In that hearing, she made it a point to reserve the first few rows with victims of people, family members and survivors, angel families for people.
No, you know, and there's some people crying in the chat about, no, that got, look, if you guys actually read that case or you read anything else about the LLC, she's not connected to it. And even if it is connected through a friend, that has not been proven. So, yeah, I mean, y'all can have all the TDS y'all want, but nothing connects Kristi Noem to that LLC. It's just strange that an LLC popped up 8 days receiving millions of dollars. So, yes, that's strange. We're not sitting here and denying that. But what we can sit here and know for sure is that none of that has been connected to Kristi Noem. We just know that these guys got started 8 days ago and are collecting millions of taxpayer dollars, which is strange, by the way, but has not been connected to Kristi Noem or any of her friends that we know to be her friends.
People who were harmed by these people that I want deported. She was trying to say that, but for her, that wouldn't happen. I think because of her, not enough of them are being apprehended because her and Stephen Miller are more worried about hitting artificial numbers that sound big. But when you dig below the surface, like I want to do with Charlotte's Web, I want to understand what their success rate was. And if they're successful, they should be moving heaven and earth.
Let's go over to NEOMS now. She did make an announcement, or she speaks after Trump firing. Dang, even Fox News is saying it like that. Well, it is what it is.
Live. Let's head there.
Those elected officials and those that step up into public service is to fulfill our duty to protect American citizens. That they should come.
Hey, yo, and shout out Monty, bro. He says, see, guys, it's not hard. Don't be a brokey. Yeah, I know. We've had a lot of brokies in it. Well, not a lot, but no, you're only a brokey if you cry about me axing or demand, not even axing, honestly, me requiring a super chat to read your comment out loud. If you're crying about that, bro, you're a brokey. If you're not crying about it and you choose not and you just choose not to support, I respect that. I respect you not supporting and not crying about it. I mean, I can only do this, your money. But, you know, if you know what's required to get your voice out there and you don't want to participate, but you want to insult, then bye. Like, bro, who wouldn't hear that? It's like you walking into McDonald's and crying about how nobody want to serve you because you're disrespectful. It's like, dude, just leave.
And then don't want to pay.
Bruh.
I want my Big Macs for free.
Bro, and if you don't give it to me, man, fuck you.
You
It's
don't,
like, huh?
you don't support your customers. You're not a customer if you're not paying.
Like, oh my goodness. It's like, bro, it's like children like just crying because they're not getting attention. But it is what it is. Don't be a brokey and don't be childish. And everything's gonna be all right.
It's $2, guys. $2.
Literally.
50 characters. You can say a lot in 50 characters.
Yeah.
Under our Constitution and our laws, and they should be prioritized, and especially over other people who are from other countries. The Constitution demands that we treat our citizens that way, and the men and women who serve at the Department of Homeland Security, they understand the importance of that, and we also understand the importance of all of our law enforcement officers and what they do across the country to keep people safe. The department was formed after the horrific events on 9/11, and just 2 years later, as Congress put the department together with the support of the president, 23 different agencies who had a nexus and a focus on defending the homeland were put in order to make sure that they were all following the same mission every single day. So it's a very diverse department. It not only has FLETC in it that trains over 130 different federal law enforcement agencies and officers from those agencies. It also includes CBP, ICE, CWMD, which is countering weapons of mass destruction. So some of you may have gone through some.
Super chat. Super chat.
I'm weak. He's like, I want to talk to the manager. Literally, bro, they're in my chat going like, I demand to talk to the manager for making me have to pay to have my chat read. I demand. I should be able to get it for free. I'm like, bro, go talk to your mama. She'll listen to your comments for free, bro. Like your dad. And for your girls, go talk to your daddy. He got it for you.
Set, you're basically just an OnlyFans model that doesn't have to take his clothes off.
And here's the thing: the same guys crying about sending a super chat in be the same guys that be sending in donations to OnlyFans. Those be the same guys, Monty. He's like, I can't send it to you, bro. I gotta simp out to this chick on OnlyFans, bro. Fuck you. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Don't say it in the chat.
But don't complain about not being heard.
Oh man. I'm done. I was like, said, I'm gonna call corporate on you. All right,
bro. You need to put my phone number as the corporate phone number on your Twitter.
Please call this number if you have any complaints about the standards of the show.
I'll answer the phone. What, bitch?
It's like, you gonna send it or not? All right, then, get on my line. All right, back to
some of those trainings to help us detect some of the threats here in our homeland, and also some of the trainings that it takes as far as responding to fires and 911 calls in different specific situations. We have intelligence agencies. We also cover FEMA. FEMA is a disaster response agency, but it also is the agency that's entrusted to run the government on our very own. If we had a tragedy in this country where we needed someone to step up because our leadership was not able.
Hey, yo, shout out to my man, Daniel Castro. He said, check Venmo. I paid to announce my payment. See, shout out to my man. And, look, the money James owns you, but for butt stuff. Whoa. The money James owes you for butt stuff.
Foley.
Shout out James Foley. Shout out Foley. And that's coming from Castro on Venmo. That's Castro on Venmo.
I think Set. I think it is reasonable that if you're gonna hardline on the super chats, that as soon as they come through, you got to read them.
Facts. You're right. You're right. Facts. But I got y'all. Unless those debates, because sometimes I can't be interrupting when Monty, Sid, or we're going on during a debate, or that's just gonna throw the whole thing off.
Yeah, if it's going during a debate, you can pose questions during a debate for a super chat. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Let's see how NEOMS how she's going out.
To that agency would be entrusted to do that and to maintain our critical infrastructure. So they ensure that they go forward and maintain our electrical grid and our critical infrastructure such as water and systems that we rely on every day to help the American people be safe and to still have their way of life. We also have CISA, which some of you may have worked with them, which is our cybersecurity agency, which goes out and not only hunts down bad actors that would attack us on our cyber systems, but also gives us mitigation measures for how we can harden our systems. All of these entities work together to serve the American people and to make sure that we're prepared for any threats that we may face, but also respond to them in a way that honors what our ideals are. The sacred duty of our government truly is that people are entrusted to secure the rights also of all the American people.
Wait, oh my God. That's my fucking wife.
I know, that's what makes it 10 times more funnier. She got those feet pics on deck, bro.
No.
Man, that's your wife pimping you out for the feet for the feet pics, like, bro. Super
And then advertising on the show.
Only $2, bro.
No.
And some of the guys who are crying about super chats are the ones buying feet pics.
Hey, I will sell feet pics if it gets y'all to super chat.
I'm weak.
I'm not above it.
All right, shut up.
I'm fucking
all right, Daniel
dead.
Castro, he says, yeah, because that's what throws well, my bad. Yeah, because that what throws of theirs. Wait, what throws of theirs? Hold on.
I think it auto-corrected. You got to re-chat that.
Yep. He's like, yeah, because I think that what throws of theirs. Yeah, well, you have to do it again. Or just correct
the
it in the
governments
chat.
derive
Passing the
their
collection
powers
plate.
from the consent of the government, which is the people. The people give us the right to do our